the first thing what it comes in our mind is the precision. The precision is very important. Because when you take a quantity takeoffs, when you do the quantity takeoffs for the mechanical works, here you can see one equipment over here, which is an AC machine, and out of which one duct is coming out and it is going into one grill. And here also you can see one diffuser over here. So how the precision comes over here? What happens in the duct is some people count it as a linear meter, like from here to here, let's say, for example, it is 10 meters, which is not a correct way to take off the quantity. Quantity for the duct is always taken as a square meter of the ducts, because when our procurement, when they are placing an order, or any company, when they are placing an order for a duct, they'll not give the total linear meter of the ducts. It's not a okay 150 pipes, we need a 10 meters length. It is not like that. Duct is always counted in the square meter. So how to convert? Because here what you can do is, using this software, you can take the linear meter of the ducts. You cannot take a square meter of the ducts. So what we will do is, we will take this linear meter, and how we will convert in a square meter we will learn in this webinar. And if you want to learn more in details for each and every items, you can register to our course and you will see in details. Okay. So what you see in front of you is, here is one PlanSwift, the software, the home page of the PlanSwift. And here I have created one project over here. Okay. And I have uploaded the drawing for an HVAC, ventilation, drainage, water supply, and firefighting. So out of which I'll take one HVAC drawing, which is 7 to 12 floor. Okay, I'll give you a live example. I'll just zoom out little over here and you can see this is a floor of one particular building. Okay, which is 7 to 12 floors. Because residential building, what happens is, there will be a ground floor, first floor, second floor, and there will be so many typical floors will be there. For an example, here in this building, 7 to 12, it's a typical floor. So if you take a quantity for the one floor, you can easily cover the quantity for remaining, like it is 6 floors. So remaining 6 floors. So you should not supposed to take the quantity for the 7, 8, 9, 10. Instead of that, you'll just take the quantity of the one floor and you multiply with 6. So you'll get the total number of quantity for this particular drawing. There's two ways in doing that. What you can do is, you can take the complete quantity for this particular floor. You can export into, when you go over here when you click here in estimating, you can find over here export to Excel. So once you finish the quantity, you can export to Excel and you can multiply over there. It's a very, it's a way, one way you can do that. There is one more way. What you can do is, you can create this templates over here. Okay. And you can put the formula here, and directly once you go into your PlanSwift, into your estimating tab, here you can see one formula here. So what is happening here is, when I take a quantity for one floor, I can easily put here in multiply 6. So you'll get the total quantity. You can see here this quantity is multiplied by 6 and you will get the total quantity. And square meter of duct also it is calculated. When you put here 1, just look in quantity 2 and duct surface area. It will become for one floor only. Okay. So this is how you make use of your templates. How to create this templates, we will not go into details in this webinar, because we have already covered in detail in our course. When you enroll to our course, you learn how to create all these templates. So what is our webinar for today is, we will make use of these templates and we will learn how to take these quantities. Okay. So I'll just zoom in little for this particular flat. So what is this flat is, there is one bedroom over here. There's one more bedroom over here. So this is 2-bedroom flat, which is having 2 AC units and 2 washrooms. Okay. So what I'll do first is, I'll I'll click over here the green button. There is so many templates here. You can see the rectangular ducts. You can see any circular ducts, any outlets, electrical cables, dampers and all. Here we are talking about a duct only. So what is the size of this duct is 250 by 200. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click here. Okay, and you can put here the duct width. What is the duct width is 250. Okay, so I have one 250 already over here. There is duct height which is 200. So you can type here 200 which is already over here. You can put here the type of duct also. When you carefully look over here, you can see here SAD. That means it is supply air duct. I'll cancel again. I'll zoom in little. You can see it over here. The ducts which is coming out from this FCU is SAD, which is supply air duct. So always the duct which is coming out from the FCU, it is known as SAD or a supply air duct, which is an air conditioning duct. So what is the use of what is the meaning of an air conditioning duct is because a cold air is flowing inside that duct. So we need to take this quantity separately because there will be some extra insulation will be there on top of this kind of ducts. When you talk about a smoke duct, which is there in the parking space, we don't need any insulation on that. Okay, we need one fire rating insulation over it, but we don't need any insulation which will protect the heat to enter inside the duct. But for supply air duct, for air conditioning duct, of course, we need one insulation. So that's why this kind of duct should be taken separately. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click over here again. I'll put here the duct width, which is 250, duct height, which is 200, and you can put here SAD. It has to be segregated as a SAD supply air duct. You should not click on any other duct because other ducts, it depends upon the the type of the ducts where it is. If it is like a fresh air duct or extract air duct, which may not need an insulation. If you taken like an FAD and you put the insulation, you will price a higher. You are estimating more. So that means there is a chances you may lose the projects. So this is very important to categorize all the ducts. Okay, so I'll click here SAD, and here I have created some of the folders also. If you go into an estimating, how to create the folders and on in details I have covered in my course. But here, once the folder is created, you can click here 7 to 12. So particular folder, particular drawing, all the quantity what I am taking in this particular drawing will be saved into this floor 7 to 12. I'll click OK. And I'll start taking this duct. I'll start from here. And there is one split over here. I'll stop here. Okay. Click here, right click and stop. Okay. So this is the duct. When you go into the takeoff summary, you can see this duct over here, 250 by 200. Now the next duct is 200 by 150. So by default, if this duct is 200 by 150, this duct also it will be 200 by 150. So there is two ways you can do it. One thing, you can click over here. You can type it 200, enter 150 and SAD. Okay, and again you can save into a same folder. There's one more way you can do it. Once you click on takeoff summary, you'll see this duct. Okay, so duct is same. This duct also SAD, only the size is different. There is a difference in size. 250 becomes 200 and 200 becomes 150. So what you can do is click here and you can see one option here is a duplicate. You can duplicate this and you can easily change this sizes. Okay, don't change this because this will be same, but it has a same color. The green color, I'll change this to red color. Click OK. I'll take it from here and I'll count this 2 ducts. Stop. So you can see here, there is 2 ducts I have calculated. The first one is 250 by 200, which is this duct. And the next duct is 200 by 150, which is this duct. Okay. So this is the length. This is what I was talking about. When you take the quantity of the duct using this PlanSwift software, you will calculate this in linear meter. You will not calculate directly in the square meter. So you need to convert this into square meter. How you can convert is you will go into an estimating. Okay, so this is our 2 ducts what we have taken. Just don't take this from here to here into account because this I have like covered in my course. So for that purpose, I have taken this quantity. Just this two quantity I have taken for this particular webinar. So I'll just take this out. Okay, so these two quantities. So what you can do is you can export this into Excel. Okay, you will see it over here. So what you can see is there is one quantity and there is one multiplier. So what you can do is you can put 6 over here and you can multiply this quantity into 6. Okay, this you can do, which is very normal way what we used to do it, but we will not do this. What we are going to do is we have already created some properties here. If you go in advance, I have created the quantity. It has to be multiplied and you will get a one quantity, which is quantity into multiply. Okay, and there is one formula also I have put over here for the duct surface area. So how this formula works is when I put here, this is a 7 to 12, so total 6 floors. If I'll put here 6, automatically this quantity 2 and duct surface area will be changed. So just look in these two columns, quantity 2 and duct surface, enter. So what you can see is this quantity, which is for one floor, when I put over here 6, it will multiply by 6 and it becomes 15.06 and the duct surface area becomes 13.55. Now there is a question comes how this duct surface area comes. Okay, because what we have taken, what the quantity, what we have taken from the drawing, it is in linear meters. It is not in duct surface area. It is not a square meter of the ducts. It is in linear meters. So how the duct will be calculated into a linear meter. So I have created one Excel over here. You can see it. Okay, so this is one Excel I have created. So here in my PlanSwift, what is a duct width, which is 250. So I'll go back again. Here, the duct width, it is 250. Now I have the second dimension also, which is 200. This, which is 200. And what is the length of the duct is 15.06. This is the total length. Okay. If I want for one particular floor only, it is 2.51. So which is 2.51. This is in meters. This duct length, it is in meters. And this is in mm. So what we are going to do is this 250 we will convert into meters. So how I'll convert it, I'll take this 250, if I'll divide it by 1000, I'll make this into meters. So this becomes in linear meter. The same thing with the height also, this also becomes in linear meter, and depth length already I have in linear meters. So this no need to change it. Okay, so all the dimension now I have in linear meter. This is 0.25, which is duct width. This is 0.2, which is duct height. And this is 2.51, which is duct length, what we have taken into our drawing. Okay, which is 2.51. You can see it over here. So I'll go back to Excel again. How to calculate the square meter of the ducts? What you need to do is first you need to calculate the perimeter of a square duct. So what is the perimeter formula is? It has to be 2 multiplied by height, width plus height. So this is how you calculate the perimeter. Okay, here we are not talking about a cross-section area of a duct. Here we are talking about a surface area of the ducts. So in what we have learned, like in our mathematics, is like when you want to calculate the square meter of the duct or any rectangular surface, first you need to calculate the perimeter, which is the length of all the sides. So it will be 0.5 plus 0.5 plus 0.2 plus 0.2. So it becomes 2 into this plus this. So all the length we have calculated, and we have our duct length also. So if you want to know the surface area for this duct, so what you need to do is you need to multiply this into this. So you will get here 2.259, 2.26. So what I have done is I have taken the perimeter first and I have multiplied this perimeter with my duct length to take the total square meter of a duct. So what you see here, 2.26, the same calculation I have made it, and you can see here, 2.26. So you don't need to go export into an Excel and you need to make all this calculation. What is the duct width? What is the duct height? What is the duct length? And you will come to your duct surface area. You don't need to do all this thing. You can just take a normally like how you take the quantity for from the drawing. You just click on estimating and you will see here the duct surface area, which is 2.26. Why? Because if you go into the property, you go in advanced, I have created one formula over here. Okay, and you will see this property here under this item, and this item when you make into your columns, when you put that duct surface area over here, automatically it will calculate your duct surface area. So that's why I have initially have said like in from the start of my webinar, like the precision is very important. Why I'm like doing like this is because I want to finish my 80% or 90% work over here in PlanSwift. So I should not go into the an Excel, because like today I have started this project. This is like G plus how many floor? So G plus 21 floor. There is total 21 floor in this building. So by the time if I start this project today, and if I want to finish the total HVC quantity, maybe it will take like 1 week or 10 days. After 1 week or 10 days, maybe I may forget. Like I need to multiply this to 6, or I need to convert this linear meter into a square meter. So these things maybe I forget. If you have very good memories, it's well and good. But if you don't have very good memory, maybe I may forget sometimes, because I will be having so many things in my mind and I'm taking so many quantities, and by the times maybe I forget this, or today I have taken some quantity and I forgot to write it, that at the end of this project I need to multiply this by 6, and this quantity I need to change it into the square meter and all. If these things I may forget, what I'll do is I'll make use of this software, I'll make use of this templates. So when you make use of this all these templates, there is no chances you will do any error, or maybe you may do some small errors, but there will be very less chances you do a big errors or big mistakes. So this is what I'm calling as a precision, and this is very important. And if you want to learn more about this, how to create the templates and how to create these formulas into the properties and all, you can go to our website, which is our Noble QS, and I'll just take you over here. This is my course, which is level 2 for the advanced mechanical quantity takeoffs with the PlanSwift. You will find it over there, and you can see here, like in all the things and details I have taken into this course. Like if you want to create the templates, how to create the templates, you can see it. If you want to see the introduction also, you can see it over here. Like introduction, you will learn what are the things I have covered in my course, and these are the things I have covered, like how to take the HVC air conditioning quantity, how you can do the ventilation quantity, and how you'll do the smoke quantity. Okay. So this is the small webinar and short webinar today. I hope it is helpful for everyone. If anyone has any questions, you can ask.
Yeah, sir, sure. This is Kamran
Thank you.
from
Thank you so
Saudi Arabia.
much. Sorry to interrupt you, Kamran. I will get back to your question. Sorry once again. Thank you so much, Ali, for sharing the insights and the templates. Now, this is the section where we will cover all the questions. So on first priority, we will request all of you to please drop your question in the chat box, but also we will give you that. So like dropping your question will give us an opportunity to cover all the questions, because there is already one question, and also it will help trainer to explain. So we'll go one by one. For there is a first question from Tahir, and then Kamran will give you the opportunity. And meanwhile, if you can drop your question in a chat box, it will be helpful for us.